Welcome, everybody, to It Tastes Different Gaming News. What's on the news today? Xbox has outsold the PlayStation in Japan for the first time in not one, not two, not five, not six, not 7, but 8 years. For the first time in 8 years, they have outsold the PlayStation. Before you get too excited about those numbers, let's run through them a little bit, shall we? According to sales data published by Famitsu, the Xbox Series S on its own, not including the X, sold 6,120 units in a week, where the PS5 and the PS5 Digital sold a combined 2,693 units. That's about 2.25 times more. But for comparison, last week, the PlayStation 5 sold 49,798 units, where the Xbox Series S sold 10,000 units. So the PlayStation did get a slight leg up on them that week, just a slight one. Similarly, the Xbox Series X sold 3,508 units compared to 105 the same week that Sony sold almost 50,000. So Xbox has sold about 2.3 million consoles combined across all generations in the last 20 years there, from the OG Xbox to current gen. But you know what? Take a win. When you can get the win, you take that win. You take it and you run with it. I think it's kind of cool. The Series S has done, far as Xbox goes, has done fairly well, considering the numbers of the other generations. And it's probably all due to its size, because, Japanese, they need small apartments, they need a small console. They can't live on that Xbox. So let's go to Pat, and see what Pat thinks about all this awesomeness for Xbox.
I would have to argue that point because the PlayStation 5 is like a massive beast compared to the Xbox Series X. I mean, I could probably fit almost 2 of my Xboxes in the same location that I could fit in that PlayStation. It's huge.
But the Xbox, the PlayStation is designed to be a bed as well in Japan. See, it's ergonomic for your spine.
It's a pillow. Yeah. It's hot and you can heat it up in the wintertime. Okay.
Exactly.
So, you know what my dad used to say? Sun can shine on a dog's ass any day. And this is what happened to Microsoft. They got their day. For what I read in the article, this has happened less than 10 times, or has happened less than 10 times in the course of since Xbox and PlayStation have been competing, that this has happened. So this is monumental for them. It wasn't massive sales numbers, but I mean, then, as Shane pointed out, 2.5 times, Xbox sold 2.5 times the amount of combined PlayStation. But then the next week, PlayStation pretty much sold 5 times as many units than the Xbox did. I mean, they're not going to be winning the console wars overall in Japan for quite some time. Nintendo or PlayStation's going to have to pretty much crap the bed or something, or, and this is an ebb and flow, right? Who knows what was going on? Maybe it was a slow pay period for over there, and they were like, well, maybe they were just sold out of PlayStations everywhere in Japan that week. Who knows what was going on? It's ebb and flow. PlayStations are still hard to get. Xboxes are starting to become more easier to get, especially the S. The S is very much is on the shelf in most places you go to nowadays.
Every Walmart got it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's supply and demand at this point, right? There's no PlayStation to be had. There's X's are kind of hard to get. That the S's are just, they're everywhere. They're like tribbles. They're multiplying. Where you see one, soon there'll be 10, 20, and 100. So I mean, it's probably just that is what they're happening. But hey, it's a win for Microsoft, as Shane says, and a win's a win. You got to take the W sometimes, and Microsoft got it. They probably threw a kegger. Phil Spencer's probably drunk somewhere on a conference table by now. Thinking about this.
It's naked, making ass copies on the machines.
Right. So it's, hey, take the win, especially in Japan where but over the years, I think Phil has amended some of his reputation in Japan, and they're starting to open up to the U.S. console market, the Xbox console market itself in general. So I see that it's becoming a little bit more mainstream over there. It's not going to ever be. I don't know if I'll ever see it in my lifetime. Is it being ever as popular as the PlayStation or the Nintendo over there, or anything like that? You know, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Nick, what do you think, man? What do you think about Microsoft sunning their butthole over there?
Yeah, good, great. Good for them. They got that good participation trophy. They participated. They got a win for that week. It almost feels like they were just like, we're feeling really bad for Microsoft. He really tries. So let's just give him a week, to make him feel good. It's like one of those feel good videos that you see online, make you feel good for a moment. But that's good for them. Lost Odyssey 2. Come on, let's bring back those JRPGs that we got through the 360 era.
Blue
let's
Dragon.
get that. That's right, Blue Dragon. Let's get those good relationship with Japan and have them start making those awesome JRPGs that we got during the 360 era. That's what I'm saying. I mean, this probably won't do that, but it'd be nice. But yeah, I mean, one thing is the Series S and X is really compared to the One. This is definitely doing better in Japan than the One did overall. Really, I mean, the One didn't do great here in the U.S., nor did it do great in Japan, and the Series has really turned things around. I guess the One did pretty good once the One X came out, but before then it was kind of the black sheep of the console out there until Phil took over, really. But and then the series has done really well. I think the series has done really well here in the US, and it seems to be kind of a little bit bringing that good feeling over to Japan. So there is some people in Japan that want to pick up the Series S at least, right? And it's a good little affordable console. That's a great thing for it. And I think that helps its sales numbers, especially in regions where it's not super popular, right? You have a $300 device. Well, $300 here. I'm not sure how the translation is in Japan, but it's a $300 device here, and it's easily found and it's pretty affordable compared to the $500 consoles. So, for any place where it's not really popular, if you go into the store and you're a big PlayStation guy, you might look at the S even and go, I might pick one of those up. You may not for an X, but for an S, you might be like, yeah, I might pick one of those up and just have it on the side in case I want to play some Game Pass or something. So yeah, that's cool. Good on them. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, I really mean it. Microsoft needs to take a W when they can in Japan. I think the reason, I think Series S has done as well as it has, especially the S, is one, is size. Two, I think due to the ignorance of Don Matrick and his just overall attitude, I think that hurt a lot of people in the Xbox community as a whole in every country, especially in Japan, because Japan is hard to bring an American product in to begin with, even though it's all made in China. They still have a whole thing about that. And I think Phil Spencer has done a good job kind of showing a humility about Microsoft that helps. But, for them to take a W in Japan of any kind is a good thing. And yeah, bring in those great games that they had there for the 360. Blue Dragon was such a sweet, sweet game. I love that game. But can they do it again? I mean, can they really do it again at any point? Or is it going to be one of those flukes when Sony runs out of stock? Is that the reason they did it? Is that the reason they won that week? I mean, I don't know. But W is a W. Microsoft is not going to have too many of those Japan. So by golly, go out and get a bottle of sake and live it up. And like you said, Nick, Phil showed up, tried real hard, got that trophy. So let him enjoy it. But let's see this some more. Let's see. Come on, Japan. Give Microsoft some love. Sony is a great system. The PlayStation 5 is fantastic, even though when I fire mine up, it does sound like it's about to launch into space some days. But it's still a great system. The company I'm not so thrilled with.
That's the space race feature. It eventually will take off.
That's what that red light turns into. the thrusters.
When you
Uh,
get close, you hear.
Yep.
You're like,
But the
Houston?
good thing
3,
about
2,
when
1.
the good thing when Microsoft does things like this and they are able to make even a small footprint in Japan is a good thing. That also increases slight chances that we're going to get a good Japanese developer making a good game for that console. Because if people have them there, they will want to put a game on there. Even if it's only for Japan, but if it works well in Japan, they might shoot it our way. I'm sure there's probably some exclusives in Japan just for Xbox we don't got. I mean, may not be many, but I bet there is, and I bet they're cool as hell. So,
Right. Well, I mean, just to put it into perspective, the last time this happened was when the Xbox One released back in September 2014. It outsold the PlayStation. But you have to put it in a PlayStation 3 and 4 that were selling at the time. To put it into perspective, the PlayStation Vita HF was outselling the PlayStation 4 at the time too. So, take that with what you will. It almost
so was the
sold.
Magnavox VCR.
It almost sold as much as Nintendo that month. Missed the mark by about $6,000, or 6,000 units, not dollars. But yeah, it sold 23,500 units, whereas the 3DS HF sold 29,555. So it was close, but it doesn't happen very often. Like I said, it's happened less than 10 times overall through the history.
But the good news is it'll happen again. May not be in my lifetime, but it will happen again. So,
it took 8 years for it to happen this time. So
yeah, I mean,
Phil Spencer really buying those lottery tickets right now.
Yeah, no crap. But you don't really hear any negatives about the new consoles in Japan. You heard a lot of negatives about the Xbox One when it released because it was so big, the Kinect and all that. That's a lot of stuff the Japanese market just really wasn't into. And so there was some complaints about that in the Japanese area, and really all over the damn world, but especially in Japan because, it's just too much for their little places. And that sucks. Stop laughing.
Wasn't it the Kinect 360 or did they put it out with the one as well? I don't remember the Kinect on the one.
It came with the one.
It came with the one. Remember, that was forced upon you.
I didn't get one. Not with my one. I never got it. I do not even have.
They eventually got rid of it, but
yeah. It was
the initial ones came with it.
Yeah, it was like a year later or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And I enjoyed the Kinect, but there was zero reason to stick it into the box because the Kinect sold well for the 360, but not that well. Not well enough to, warrant a second version to be shoved up your ass.
I never hooked mine up. It stayed in the box, my Kinect. I took the Xbox because I hated the Kinect. I mean, there was a couple of games that were kind of fun, but overall, I just thought it was a useless. It didn't turn into anything that was useful in my eyes. So when the Xbox One was like coming with the Kinect, first thought, why? And secondly, once I bought my Xbox One, I just left the Kinect in the box because I didn't care about it.
Don't let him lie to you, people. He is a liar. He came over and we played Dance Central like there was nobody's business. We were out there popping and locking and all that good stuff.
But I sure
as hell
wouldn't buy a Kinect
came over
for
to pet your Kinectable, didn't he? He came over to pet your Kinectable.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He was complimenting you on your goats and sheeps.
Yep. That was his nickname for it, my Kinectable.
And we went down the river on the river rafting game or whatever.
The river rafting one, Connect Adventures. Yeah. So, a W is a W for Microsoft. They should enjoy it. They need to look at what caused the W and try to do it again. I mean, plain and simple. If Sony just ran out of crap to sell,
derail those. Yeah, they need to derail the shipments of PlayStation is what you're saying, because that's probably what happened, right? There was no PlayStation to be bought.
Oh, yeah. Phil Spencer's going to be standing on the highway waiting for that truck of PlayStations to go by. He's going to throw them road spikes out there.
We're going to have another evergreen.
It blocked the whole roadway. We just don't. It's going to take us a month to clear this out.
Oh, yeah. But I'm happy for the wins when you can get them, no matter who it is. I always vote for root for an underdog, especially when they deserve it. And Microsoft has done a lot to deserve a W in Japan. So, way to go, Japan! Buy some more, and then give us some of the damn good games you got, because I know you got the good stuff. Daddy needs the good stuff. So, all right, guys, you have anything else you want to hit at on this minor miracle? All right. Well, I'm going to go out and get lottery numbers based on Phil Spencer's birthday and crap. But thank you for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe, you hit the notifications, all the good stuff we ask you to do. But most importantly, send us your thoughts and opinions on this. What do you think caused the big win here? What do you think Microsoft should do to continue trying to get those big wins over there? And just what you think about in general about us and gaming. So spit it out there, and we will see you next time. See ya.